Recently, I put out this video showcasing how I use Suno Studio as someone who's released over 300 songs, all mixed, mastered, and produced by me. This video is part 2 to that. In the first video, we talked a lot about downloading Suno Stems, how to mix them and make them sound better. In this one, we go a little bit more into depth on other things you can do to really make your songs stand out and sound professional. Some of these tips are going to blow your mind, especially if you've just started out producing. So enjoy the video, and as always, make sure to leave me a comment and let me know what you want me to cover next. I went ahead and made this like really simple beat that I'm just gonna throw into Suno Studio. So before we hop into Studio, we're just gonna upload audio on the Create tab and save it to Library. You can click on Remix/Edit and go to Open in Studio. So here's our beat, and as you can see, it's just a loop right now. So all I'm gonna do is hit Control D to duplicate this, and I'm just gonna do that a bunch of times. So the first thing I'm gonna do is add a new track, and we're gonna highlight, we'll just do the whole thing. I just wanna make some vocals just as a reference, and I'm just gonna call it Auto-Tune Rap and just let it do whatever it wants to do. And the reason I do that is because whenever you're producing just regular old human music, it helps to have a vocal reference. So I wanna have something like that while we're building this beat, so it can give us some inspiration into what we can make the song sound like. Bitches say wah, wah, wah. Okay, there's a lot of artifacts, but we can go to these show take lanes and we can find the other versions. I'm on a ride home. I'm on a ride home. I'm just gonna keep that one part. Okay, and in the vocals you can already hear like a pad, so I think I'm just gonna do a new track and add some type of pad or something for the background. We'll go to synth, ambient, background, spacey, lush, pads. And I'm just going to type in D minor. I don't know if Suno can understand that scales or not, but I hope that it can. And I'm just going to bump up the audio influence, maybe to like 35 just to get it to moderate. So hopefully it will understand the key better if I do that. Let's see what the Suno did for us. That actually sounds really nice, but one thing that we can do now with the new feature in Suno is they have this EQ, and the pad right now is really fighting with the bass because there's a lot of low end in this pad. So now what we can do is click the synth and then go to the right. You can choose between clip or track, so just click track. We're going to double click one of these to select that band, and we're going to change the band to a high pass. And then there's this knob called resonance, and we just want to bring that up somewhat because that's going to make it a little bit sharper and take out more of the low end. So I'm going to take it to around here, which is around 200 hertz to get it out of the way of the bass. And we can double click another band and take down the low end a little bit too, or the high end, I mean. And actually, let's just duplicate this part of the pad. Now we're about to do something a little bit crazy. I'm gonna add a track, and this time I'm actually gonna record something and then change my voice into an instrument. I'm gonna go to our track, and right here where it says no input, I'm gonna change that to my mic's input. And we're gonna click this little button right here, which is gonna arm it for recording, which basically just means that whenever we record, it will record. Why do you have to do that? I don't know, man. I'm just gonna keep it going for a little bit longer so it gives me time to experiment, and I'm gonna press record. Now we're gonna try to turn that into a synth. So let's open this up and change this to synth, lush, I'm gonna say creamy, soft, synth, ambient, D minor. I'm gonna keep the audio influence at around 30 because I don't want it to sound like my voice, but I want it to keep the same melody. And we're gonna click replace. That is not at all what I did, but it does sound kind of cool. Let's add a new track. I'm just gonna record that again. I'm gonna click and replace it again, but this time let's go with like a flute. So I'm gonna click woodwinds, flute, melody, ambient, reverb. And let's bump up the audio influence to like 50. All right, let's see if this is a little bit closer. That's nice. That's not what I did either, but I like it. The only thing I'm hearing is we could have like a Moog bass. So let's add one more track, and we'll just select this whole section and go to bass, staccato, stabby, 80s, West Coast, Moog bass. And we'll keep the audio influences moderate. That seems to do the best whenever I'm trying to get it to do things that interact well with everything else. What I'm starting to realize with Suno Studio is every new thing that you make is adding context, and then Suno is going to take that information to kind of interpolate what it should do. Yeah, I like it. I like that shit.
Sorry to interrupt the video, but if you want to try out Suno for yourself, I've got a link in the description where if you use it, I'll get a commission, bro.
We are going to export all of this so we can bring it back into the DAW. And we're going to multi-track. Sometimes the stems from Suno do it right at first, and then it'll start to drift as time goes on. So you can just select one section of it and just have that repeat. Let's just work on this bass first. So first what I'm going to do is take out the super lows and the super highs from this bass, because we are going to have an 808 and that can take up the sub. And I think I'm going to just copy that melody that Suno generated, because I like that better than what I did. And a lot of times these Suno stems are also very mono. So I'm going to use the stereo enhancer in FL Studio. You can use whatever widening tools you have. Basically, this is just going to delay the signal from the right ear to the left ear, creating the illusion of width. All right, now let's take a look at these pads. Okay, that sounds really nice, but it could be really nicer. So the first thing this pad needs is what almost all of these needs, which is just a high pass to get out the sub. And the second thing, we need a lot of reverb. You can use any reverb you have. I'm just using Valhalla Room because it's my favorite. And I'm also going to use this plugin called Stereo, which basically processes the mid signal and the side differently. But it's basically just going to make these pads wider. Now I'm going to export this with the processing. Then we're going to do something a little bit weird. And then let's take the same pad and we're just going to pitch it up. And we put the reverb up all the way. It just gives us a constant ambient sound for us to hold on to, and really makes the sound a lot bigger and a lot more ambient. And then we can try pitching it down as well. I don't know if that'll work, but let's see. I'll export that as well. And it's just little things like this, little tricks that you can do to take your original sound and really bump it up some. All right, now we can start working on this flute. I'm gonna add a little bit of delay, which is also like an echo effect, and put ping pong on it just to make it wider. And I'm also gonna put some reverb on it again. Export that with all the effects on it, and you're not even going to believe this. You can turn this flute into a harmony. So here's our original flute. Then I'm going to take this flute and bump it up 3 semitones. But changing the whole sample like that is going to bring it out of key on some notes, so you can put an auto tune on top of it with the D minor scale chosen. It still doesn't sound perfect, but if you wanted to, you could bring it into like a manual auto-tune like Melodyne or something. All right, let's export that as a thing too. We got one more stem we got to do some fancy stuff with, which sounds amazing, but we just want it to be more wide and more lush. Get rid of that low end again. Anytime you want something to be more wide, delay is always a great thing to use. Sometimes you can even stack delays. So I'm just going to copy this same delay, but I'm going to change the time to be way up here, and I'm going to change the panning from right to left to right. And then that just gives us a really cool echoey effect. It's cool. I don't know how to describe it. And I'm gonna throw Valhalla Shimmer on here. It's just another reverb plugin that I really like, but whatever reverb you have in your DAW should be good. But if you're just getting into this and you got the money to spend, I would highly recommend getting third-party plugins because the reverbs is crazy. I've just decided in my infinite wisdom that the next part of this video, we're gonna go really deep into arrangement because I really think that should be a video all by itself. Yeah, so if you wanna see that, look out for part 3, it's coming. Or if you're seeing this in the future, it's already out and it's in the link in the description or the end screen. So let's just do a quick comparison from what it sounds like in Suno to what it sounds like now after we've added all of these steps. Some of this stuff can be tedious, but I'm hoping that all of the innovations that Suno is doing will encourage you to take the next step and do all of these other things that can really take your songs to the next level. If there's anything else you want me to cover, let me know down in the comments, or a rabid dog will find your cat and have a picnic with him.